Hello and welcome to the Benjamin Zulu Show, and I hope you are fantastic. I don't know what really happens when we start off in our relationships. The fire, the chemistry, the sparks. Wait, it is moto. But then I don't know what happens along the line. And we have a question here where one lady says she's been married for 15 years now, but she is dying slowly because there's no more love between them. But I have to believe that at some point, the reason we're together and the reason he's a wonderful dad to your kids, and there's, you're not fighting, those are some of the things that you're saying, there's peace. But that's how you can describe your marriage at this particular point. What happens? At what point do we get bored? Is it true that we actually, get into relationship and they turn boring? Mr. Zulu.
And that philosophy has been sold to us.
Yes.
That this excitement is only for the honeymoon phase. They introduce the phases to tell you so that you can accept the concept that things are not the same. And they come with this concept of, at some point you get used to each other, you get bored to each other, and they keep, when they see people who look in love, they say, we are waiting.
Yes. They have a song about how it will end.
In fact,
yes,
it has so much permeated our culture, we sing about it.
Yes.
People answering, you keep on waiting, we will never fall out of love. And you, we are watching, it is only a show off.
Yes.
And you. So the concept of that love wears off has been so drummed up, has been so spoken about and almost accepted, until those who are yet to marry almost think that is a fact.
What is the truth though? Because we've seen, she's 15 years later, she's talking about it.
And I want you to know the following.
Yes.
That you do not know how something functions by asking other users. They will tell you their experiences with it.
Okay.
You must talk to the manufacturer. That's the one who gave it operational functionality, who said, if you handle it this way, this is supposed to perform.
Okay.
But what have we done? We ask, what's your experience with this thing called marriage? And you, how did it behave for you? So there's so much noise. What happened?
Yes.
And nobody is saying, how was it manufactured to work? All right?
Okay.
So the manufacturer did not intend for it to die. He said until death. He said, in fact, you become one. I know you are not always happy with yourself every day, that sometimes you've disappointed yourself. But you don't reach a point when you're a healthy person where you hate yourself, you regret, you want to die. When you're a healthy person, you keep forgiving yourself. You keep waking up.
Yes.
You keep moving forward and looking for. In fact, you're the most forgiving person to yourself. When you do something, you understand why you did it.
Yes.
There's no much explanation either. I know where I got it wrong.
Yeah.
When you become one flesh, you're supposed to be that way as a marriage.
Oh.
So together to the end that even when things happen, we almost automatically understand. In fact, you've married the right person when too many times they don't need to explain. You understand them. You know where they're coming from. And you know they will correct. You know you're becoming one, and he said they shall become one. Becoming one is not physically merging the body. It is having one heart, one union, so intense love, so much connection that I see you the way I see myself. I give you as many chances as I give myself. Okay. I give as much support as I give myself. Yeah. So the intention of the manufacturer of marriage was to start two people, but then they function all the way to the end. These others that it will die are experiences of users. Please disregard them and connect. Follow the manual and it will work. So what happens now? Why is the phenomenon so common? The phenomenon is common because the word love has been abused and misused in many things. Many people married because of infatuation.
Yes.
Many people married because of a passing fancy. Sometimes I see people behaving like the way wild beasts cross the river Mara. They come all of them and jump. Just hope you cross safely. Just crocodile, jump. So people come as a group, they finish college, and they start jumping to marry. Jump.
That's where everyone is going.
Yeah. I've seen that, and it's very disturbing. But nobody stands outside to see it because everybody is caught in a group. Yeah. But when I started to study human behavior, I saw it. And we also call it peer pressure, and we think only teenagers are into it. All of us throughout life.
We do.
The group you have been journeying with, it takes so much energy to know how, in which areas to stay connected, in which areas to disconnect and be individual. God did not duplicate you in anyone. And many of your time schedules are so unique to yourself.
Yeah.
Many of the things you're supposed to do are so different. If Paul was moving with the seasons of his age group, we will not have what we have today.
Yeah.
To that of the New Testament, we wouldn't have it. It's that identity and uniqueness and knowing I am trying to find out why he created me. I'm trying to fulfill that.
Yeah.
I want to start by telling you that the reason marriages are failing, we did not enter them with unique personal identity, and that as a part of our journey to our self-unique actualization and our calling, we enter it as a group thing that is happening now. And because the WhatsApp groups and the ones we form, we form those groups to follow up on each other.
Yes.
What we are doing.
Yeah.
The class of 2012, the class of 2015, the class of 09. The class of, it's a good thing to them. We support each other during difficult times. You can fundraise when you have lost a parent, those kind of things. But they also serve as a watchdog.
What's happening with you? You're going to Nani's baby shower. Where's yours?
And that group crossing then results to marriages, decisions that are not well thought of, that are badly timed.
Yeah.
And because people will not own up that they did things out of outside pressure, then they look for seemingly acceptable explanation that all marriages go through this phase. The second reason that marriages, the love will dry off, is when people married socially, but they were not ready for the personal transformation to become a partner, to become one with another, to share fully their lives, to open their hearts, to gain money together, lose money together, gain status together, lose status together, to journey through the topographies of life together. They were not prepared for that. They came with, they want to sound marriage, Mrs. somebody, the husband to so and so. And there's that bragging down there among people that now I'm a married man.
Yes. I'll have to consult my husband.
It's almost a status statement.
Yes.
They're trying to tell you some.
We'll see if we are available for that weekend, me and my husband.
And you can sense they just wanted to insert that there.
Yes.
The message is another one. They're insinuating.
Yeah.
We're not like you.
No.
You is alone.
Things have changed.
So the topography needed to journey together through the parenting, and many people start changing on me when I don't look as young and handsome as I looked.
That was bound to happen.
Now, we know mental somehow, but we don't think about it like this.
Okay.
And I keep reminding us that as you think I'm changing, remember you're also changing. Only that you can't see yourself as much. And the funny thing is, the more I've seen grandparents, the grandparents to my wife are very old, like 100 years old. That's too tight. In fact, when you separate them, they fall sick.
Wow.
And there's that innocent, childlike love and playfulness among them.
Yeah.
Now it is no longer the romance we usually think of, bedroom or whatever. Sometimes they need to be cooked for, both of them.
Yeah.
But the grandma is always trying to cook. She'll get a few things wrong because it's the coordination. But she's always trying to cook. And they are happy. If anything happens and one is taken to hospital, another one, the other one is sick. Those people are too tight.
Yeah.
It happens. They don't look at, now you don't look as shapy as you were. Now you don't look as,
No.
So there are people coming to it thinking only of the body, and the body is only part of me. In fact, I realize the more you stay with a person, the more you learn the heart, the stronger the connection.
Absolutely.
The deeper the connection, the less they need to do to impress you. The more you learn their soul, the more you learn what they really are for, and their vibe, and how they live, and how they mean well, and how they look out for you.
Yeah.
When people love each other sincerely, the passage of time only gives you assurance that at least you have this one person who was your back.
Yeah.
Having one person who is unconditionally by your back is a very esteem boosting thing. Boosts your confidence, makes you try things. Makes you, when you know this one person will be patient with you, when you know it's the world crumbles, even when things are we can encourage each other, we can tell each other, don't worry, we shall fight through, we have been through other things. That part has been underestimated. You marry for that. The other parts are there. The sweetness, the chemistry, the beauty, that is there.
Yeah.
But it is not all.
Yes, that is true.
It is not all, because we are not always dressed up when we're in the house. When we're out here, we always look more glamorous than in the house, because we put more glamour as we step out.
Yeah.
When we're in the house, we don't put the glamour. We are more relaxed.
Yeah.
So we get used to knowing ourselves deeply in a less guarded way, in a less more careful way, and in a more easy way. So the second portion is people who marry and they're very superficial with their love, and they were not looking at the long term. And the third thing is people who marry when they are genuinely incompatible and they're forcing issues. When they they should not have gotten together. They got together for all the wrong reasons. And Zitu, I was telling that the worst marriage stories always start with, I got married when I was very young. Whenever you hear that introduction, wait for a horror of a story.
Yeah.
And I tell them, so you're saying you did the wrong thing at the wrong time. And what did you expect me to do? When you're very young, it simply means you're too blind to understand the larger concept. So people marry when they should not have married. But they always tell you, I felt like I was sincerely in love, and so having sex was okay. And then I got pregnant. Then, I realized I was not going to college. There are men who marry because they realize they're starting to get money and they're afraid of being exploited.
Yes.
By the women out here.
Yes.
They rather have one.
One. Yeah, just the one.
The intention is good, but then they go ahead approaching it with a speed and rush.
Yeah.
I saw some artists who got together now, and people, there's a lot of bars. These are lovers now, these are lovers now, these are lovers now. But the guy is always getting women, parting ways, getting women, parting ways.
Yes.
And I tell them, these people get it wrong, because just because you have money now does not make you any special.
No.
True people, the partner who will take you to your destiny, will appreciate that you've built your career to a certain extent. Yeah. But they'll be more concerned about who are you as a person. After you come with the big cars, we leave them at the parking. After you come with the big things, while we are seated here, what are your manners? What is your attitude? How do we connect? How friendly are you? How caring? How faithful? How committed? What kind of a father? What kind of a friend? These artists, celebrity, money, athletic things are confusing people. Yet when you finally go down to narrow to the true kind of a husband you need, he'll be a real person talking real things. Please, can we forget our status for a moment?
That is
I'm
so
happy
true.
you've worked so hard you're on TV. I can see. I'm happy you're a focused lady. Now, that aside.
That aside.
What do you believe about marriage? What do you believe about faithfulness? What are your boundaries? Do you flirt with just anyone? How far do you go? Sometimes this dancing, they dance with vixens, acting dancers, but they act real romance, and they're supposed to be only acting.
Then after the shoot,
emotions real.
Yes.
So I was asking a person, what do they do to avoid what they're watering from sprouting?
I don't think they think
because
like
they play wedding. I love you. This is not your wife.
No.
You're talking love. You're actually wedding. And then emotions don't know how to act. The guys who act, I was studying one time how movies regulate that. They're kissing this one, playing married this one.
Yeah.
And they said it is always a fragile thing. Nobody has mastered it yet. It takes personal character to actually maintain the boundaries. And they said many people ended up having affairs after those things they play. But there are people who have maintained their marriages. And when they were interviewed, they married and maintained integrity throughout their career. Although they acted with many other people in romantic stories, this and that. And they said they every time cancelled anything that was trying to develop by keeping their partner close. They say the secret was, I kept my partner close. I'm acting here, we are talking with them, I'm chatting on phone, telling to avoid my heart going that way. They were interviewing Selena, this Celestine, the girl was acted, and she was asked, what is it about acting with Pascal? And it is, we even feel the romance, us who are watching, we are supposed to feel it.
Yes. Yes. Kids believe it's a real relationship.
How is it? She said, I have to switch my mind from Celestine to Selena. That's a different person.
Yeah.
I'm wearing her like a costume.
Yes.
And giving her expression. And then removing her and going back to myself.
Yeah.
She has had to develop.
That's the only way.
You know.
Yeah.
She said, if I try to stay with Selena out here, I'll be finished.
That is true.
Because I develop feelings for the characters.
Yeah.
You know. And she said, I'm a Christian, I must still have my principles, I have my Christianity to protect, I have my Holy Spirit who guides me, and I still, she said, in fact, when I'm not acting, you can't act like romantic or like you want to kiss or want to suggest. When I'm not acting, you can't throw those words out. Even if you are the character, we play that way there. Once you're out of cast, don't come here to try talk to me the way you're talking. This is not Selena, this is Celestine.
Yeah.
I liked that splitting. People go into marriage as if they're playing a role.
Yeah.
As if they are, you know, I saw one guy advertising that he's looking for a wife, you know, and putting posters and say, you will only get gold diggers. Real women are not sought for that way. When you look like you have a name and you have a future,
yes,
and you advertise that way,
yes,
you get gold diggers. Real women want real connection. In fact, they are very careful. This kind of mannerisms.
Yes. It's not something I want to be associated with.
You
No.
see? So,
No.
even such must be subtle and wise. You can't be this blatant. Guys, please, I'm looking for a wife. Zulu is looking. Do you know anybody?
But then people will be saying, he said we do interviews. Like, not like this, guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, supposed to be, because people will ask, have you been living in a bubble? Supposed to use your social connectedness to move among people, relate personally, and read nuances. So, many people's marriage will wear off because they came in too quickly. They came in the wrong way. They came in carried by feelings. They were connected by a career, something else aroused the feelings. They tried to build something permanent on something so fleeting.
Yeah.
That's the reason. The fourth reason you see this lady talking about 15 years.
Yes.
Is that you don't grow at par. Whenever you see people who are genuinely in love and friends and deeply soulmates, but after a decade, this problem usually arrives slowly, but it arrives very decisively, is when you're not growing at par.
Okay.
You're not growing together. You are not careful to hold each other's hand as you advance through life. So what happens? One focuses on babysitting and getting children.
That's an extreme, but it's okay. We get the picture.
And the other one focuses on growing himself.
Yeah.
Let me remind you, Mwikali, that when you get married, those children are for both of you. You need to handle parenting together. You may be the one to carry the pregnancy, but even the law started giving men paternity leave, expecting them to be around.
Yes.
Don't specialize on mothering at the expense of your development. Let me remind you that. Because you may sit here for 5 years to get our 4 children, 5 children, 10 years, while I'm always out there, and without you intending it or without foreseeing it.
Yeah.
After a period of time, we can't converse, we can't connect.
There's nothing to say to each other.
I want you to get the number of children that don't hold you back from your larger purpose in life. Being a mother is only one purpose.
Yeah.
You have other purposes. So far, how many lives you have touched and you have not yet given birth? Next time a person is asking you how old are your children, remind them that you are larger, you are more than a mother. You're not just here to give birth.
No.
How many children of Mother Teresa do you know? We call her mother and she did not have children. We were her children.
Yes.
The world was her children. The poor in Calcutta, India were her children. We do not... Can you tell society to stop squeezing you to a very tiny box so that they can feel comfortable that you are not very different from them? Because many of them have nothing else to show except that. So they want to imagine a woman is all about that.
Yes.
I want me and my wife, I want you to plan your life so that you're doing everything jointly. Differences in growth arise when one takes more of parenting than the other.
Yeah.
As much as you're parenting, I don't want you to be holding babies 7 days a week. Get your day, go off the hotel and catch up with your girl. Go read a book, go do something, go think outside the book. I mean, leave the baby with me, go out.
Yeah.
Go catch a different air.
Very important.
You know?
Yeah.
as soon as this baby can be shared, when it's very tiny, you may be the one holding, but how many months are those? Very soon it will be possible. And one thing I was telling my wife, I don't want you to become, there are people who have been reduced to be behind. They're always being left behind. People leave, then you're back at home. Every time they leave, you're back at home.
Yeah.
What is happening is they go to interact with the world and you're locked back at home, even if it's for a good reason. Over time, what will happen? Differences in growth. Differences in, we are no longer at par, at pace. We are no longer at pace. So remain at the forefront of life. Parenting is, we do it together. It's our duty. And then growth, we also help each other in need. Don't drop your books. Don't drop your learning. Don't drop your coaches. Don't drop your teachers. Thank God, COVID brought another thing that it made internet essential. So that it is in the house. You can be in the house, but you're watching your things, you're studying your things, still expanding your thinking, still learning more things, still, in fact, one person, we observed a phenomenon where some ladies were asking after they gave birth, their sex life changed, their connection changed, their physical chemistry with their husband changed. Many men are very misinformed during the pregnancy. They pull off from their wife. They think it's a caring thing, not to.
Well, yes, I don't want to hurt you.
But they're misinformed. It's supposed to know. In fact, during pregnancy, there are many emotional fluctuations, and your woman needs more support. You don't pull back. So one of the things I realize as men is, whenever we're entering a season as a couple, I should educate myself.
Okay.
Now, I educate myself about pregnancy, what it means, how I can support my wife, the best way to do ABCD. This is our baby. This is our project. It's not her. In fact, she's carrying the physical. I should carry the emotional.
Yes. Are they listening?
Because there's no time I'll take the weight physically during pregnancy.
No.
Can I take the other side? Can I assist her so she feels she has somebody who, I saw one guy who they were waiting at a train station. He bends for the lady to sit on her because for her to remain standing is very painful. And they captured. And these were not actors. These were people living real life. So they were showing how men have supported women. It was a caption of many photos. A person was moving around, collecting, men supporting without knowing that somebody is watching.
Yeah.
At one place, he caught when they have to wait outside the house, outside the shop, as the woman goes shopping. And how men keep themselves busy.
Very
lie down, others doors off.
Very supportive.
And they don't have an attitude.
No.
It's something they're doing.
Yes.
Another lady bent to pick something down. And because I was seated on the table, the guy sensed that corner of the table can hit her.
I saw that.
And he put his hand on the corner.
Yes.
And I don't think that was acting. Because the camera was shaking, you could see whoever is recording, the guy is not aware somebody. And he was conversing with somebody.
Yes.
It was
the lady didn't even notice what was happening. She did her thing and continued.
They are good men, only that they are not advertised. They are not so much spoken about. We only hear of toxic. We have healthy ones, and they exist. And because we also have a lot of noise in this space, we have a lot of people who are teaching backward. Women are below. Don't support women. Oh, and you ask them, who is your mother? Your mother is a woman.
Yeah.
You can't talk like that when you are both. You have a daughter. You expect to marry a wife. We can't be talking like this in this era. Imagine if the president of the US hated women and now the deputy is a woman.
Yes.
So it's to say, I was telling young men that let's not buy into cowardice and thinking the only way you can control people is to belittle them. You can connect to the people by building them up. You can connect to people by realizing that, I keep reminding myself that the femaleness of Mwikali is only physical and functional.
Yeah.
Me and her essentially are spirits. We are human beings. Essentially.
Absolutely.
Before other things of saying, you are. And when I remember the humanness of both of us, suddenly all that imagination of superiority of being disappears.
Yeah.
And I'm happy now we can collaborate, and I'm happy we are not all men, because when you're a lady and I'm a guy, there's better chemistry. We can code it. You can show me another angle of the aesthetics of life, the soft side of life. You know, the female side of understanding, compassion, connected. You can help me there. You know, and they can help you on the logical, performance-oriented goals. And I'm not saying, oh man, I'm just saying we tend to lean more on the logical, performance-oriented. Tend to lean more on the connectedness and understanding the inside working of things. That, in fact, they say females are process-oriented, men are results-oriented.
Yeah, that is true. Very true.
So, because we are results-oriented, we tend to be on the go, and we may bruise a few on the way to get the thing done.
Yeah. But then we'll think about the process. Where do we go from here?
You know,
how will that affect so and so and so?
And when we teamwork that way, it's perfect. Now, the conclusion, how shall you do then?
Yeah.
Make sure the foundation is right. That is the first rule.
Okay.
To make sure your house stands the whole generation, the house of your marriage. Put the root before you can expect the fruit. Make sure you put a solid foundation, a foundation of how you and that person you connect in a soulish manner, not just senses. Senses are on the surface, sensational on the surface, emotion on the surface, spark chemistry, electricity.
Well, way.
That's the icing, but you don't eat the ice only. There is a cake. In fact, they put ice last. They bake for long.
Yeah.
Icing is not long baking, just putting.
Yeah.
But the thing that you take long to take, values. How do we have friendship? Do we have the 3-layered? Healthy relationships always have 3 layers. You connect as friends, you connect as lovers, and you connect like siblings. You can protect each other like brother, sister. That's how the granny and the grandpa, even later in life, when the sexual element is no longer working, they remain as friends and as if brother and sister, so bond that is so deep. You can feel it's as if they're twins. You know, that twin feeling, that my person feeling should be there. It usually does not have a lot of chemistry, just a sense of protectiveness to protect the person. Okay. Then friendship as a person you can share, joke with. Then there is now the romance, the chemistry now, the fantasy now. The person who sparks you to feel the child within you, you know, who makes you feel wild. Love with romance has a wildness, you know. So put the right foundation. The other thing is evolve together. Don't go ahead, don't lag behind. Learn things together. What you're learning, discuss with me.
Yeah. Growing
together is very simple processes, like simply discussing what you're learning with me. The ideas that are forming in your head, the goals, the dreams, how they are shaping in your head, and some of the objectives that you're thinking, how we shape our lives. Let it be a joint affair. Don't put your girlfriends before me. Don't put your mother before me.
Yes, it needed to be said. Yes.
Let me not see you implementing things because you discuss with your mother.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
Let us. If mom gives you a good idea, bring it here. Yeah. You know I'm not defensive or hateful. Oh, that's a good idea. Let's think about it. And we shape. Sometimes we like an idea. With the time we get proven wrong, we drop it together. Yeah. We pick another one. So evolve together. And lastly, anticipate the finishing. Don't forget we are here to finish well. In life, you get what you ask for, what you insist on. I want to finish well. I want to finish with this woman. I keep telling my girl, I can't wait to hold your hand at 75, 80, and we say, we made it.
Yeah.
I saw that meme, I said, this is what I'm aiming for.
Yes.
We are still here, but hey, we made it. How old are we again?
We made it.
The longer journey is behind us.
Yeah.
We have, look what we have achieved. And we can celebrate. So, I want you to dream, fantasize, long for. Dream about it, anticipate it, treasure it. At the least, look forward to crossing the finish line. Look forward to the finishing line. Don't just run and get distracted by the cheer. So yes.
Wait, I have a quick one before I do the summary for this. Say, for example, the sparks, the fireworks, the friendship has happened. Then the misinformation happens along the way, where probably it happened during pregnancy, it happened during maybe you got laid off, it happened, something happened, and somebody just probably took a step back, and somehow whatever it is that we started with is not there. how then do we reignite that so that we do not now dwell on the differences that are happening here, the misinformation that is happening here, to continue, pulling us apart?
I like the way you are restoration oriented.
There's hope.
Thank you for bringing that so that people don't think a healthy marriage is a straight line.
Yes.
Even mine is not a straight line.
Yeah.
No marriage is like this.
No.
But when it's a commitment, it may be a stagger. We go through we walk through the valleys of the shadow of death. Death is around. When you can see shadow, the guy is around.
Yeah.
You saw shadows of divorce.
It's real.
You saw possibilities of the end.
Yeah.
And you went through uncertainties. That is part of it.
Okay.
I saw somebody drawing goals. Your dreams are a straight line, but the reality will be a zigzag or a spiral. But if you stay at it, you will still reach the end. It's a journey that is spiraling. Just stick together through it. And when it's time of confusion, go back to who sent you to marry here, who sent you to start this union. A cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. Make sure there's a third strand. Don't make your rope 2 strands. It will not be a rope. Make sure the third strand of the maker, the institution, or the starter of marriage is there. So that sometimes when you are confused, God, you can see what is happening here. Help us.
Yes.
And He will happily help you. God established this, and He's so interested in seeing that. In fact, He's so serious with it. He pictures His whole relationship with us humans as a marriage. He said He will come, take us to a honeymoon. He will blow a trumpet the way the grooms will blow trumpet to alert the family. Those days that he has come. He's using marriage throughout. Christ the groom, church the bride. So even in marriage, I'm kind of playing an illustrated sermon, an illustrated message by God. So He has an interest in it. Don't be afraid to pray over your marriage.
Okay,
yes.
Fantastic. And now to summarize it all, there's a big one over here. I'm not so sure where to start, but you can remain in love with each other for life without any periods of regret or boredom. But you must first believe it so you can behave it. Of course, you know who said those words. He's the one who puts words beautifully together. That is Zulu himself from his Facebook page. Thank you so much for today and for tuning in. We'll see you on our next episode.